So I do understand that I'm in a position where I was very lucky to have a good father figure and an older brother in my life to guide me over some of the hurdles that young men face. But a lot of hurdles that young men face, they haven't got anybody to look up to, and they haven't got anybody to turn to. And I thought, you know what, let me just give this little bit of life advice out to the younger men out there. He said, I broke up with my ex. How do I know if it's too late to take her back, or should I take her back, or should I not take her back? The answer to whether you or not you should take an ex-girlfriend back is very simple. And I know this, and most fully grown men probably know this. But for the younger guys out there, let me explain to you exactly what it is. If she has had another boyfriend or another sexual partner or another relationship since the breakup, it is too late to take her back. It is over at that point. Because no matter what happens in the relationship, no matter if you get married, have kids, if you stay together for a very long time, because that all happened because it didn't work out with the guy who she was with after your breakup. So you are always going to be plan B. You're always going to be the fallback guy. You're always going to be the idiot that's always there. So if she's had a week or two and, hung out with her girlfriends and cried into her pillow, by all means take her back. The moment there's been another guy in the scene at all, she's only interested in taking you back and getting back with you because it didn't work out with him. So don't let yourself be played like that. Yeah, don't be second place to anybody. So that's when it's too late. And I've had many relationships in the past, but I'm no longer interested in the game. I want to work on myself and my finances and focus on helping my mother in her elderly age. Is this wrong? Why would anything that makes you happy and doesn't hurt anybody else be wrong? You have to understand, I think that the real definition of right and wrong actions are whether they cause other people harm. And I think that's everybody's definition. So if you're 34, you're tired of the game, you're tired of women being no good and breaking up with you, or maybe you're successful with women and you're just tired of meeting all of them. Whatever you mean by that question, there's nothing wrong at 34 with working on yourself and your finances and focus on helping your mother in her elderly age. I'm 34. You're exactly the same age as me. I am too working on myself, trying to build myself up, working on my finances, although they're pretty secure. I'm always trying to do better, and I care about taking care of my mother too. Yeah, I'm certainly not chasing tail around like I was when I was 21. Because I've realized as I'm older and smarter that there are better things to do. What I would advise you though is Rusty Jedi Knight. You're only 34. Do this for a couple years, but eventually you are going to need a woman because you are going to need kids. And having kids is a very important mission in any man's life. So yeah, by all means, work on yourself. I don't understand why that would be a negative thing. That's actually a very beautiful thing, and I wish you the best of luck. Well, there are two different circumstances you're talking about. One, if she stays the night with you and you're letting her go in the morning. And two, if she's not going to have sex with you, and you could tell, and she's not going to spend the night with you, and you say, you know what, let me put you in a taxi, walk her to the car, open the door, let her go. What people need to understand is 90% of the time, or 99% of the time, women have decided whether they're going to have sex with you before the date. They really have.
Whether their legs are shaved.
Exactly, exactly. So you spoke to her, she finds you charming. She'll think, there's a possibility I'm going to fuck this guy tonight. She'll put on her best lingerie, like she said, shave your legs, get ready. And if she's got ready, you have a very, very good chance of having sex. But there are some times where I've been talking to a girl for maybe a month, and we have our second date or first date. And I'm like, this one's in the bag. And it gets to 11 o'clock, and she's like, you know what, I'm going to have to get up early tomorrow. I should really get a taxi home. I'm the least pushy man. There's nothing attractive about being pushy, because you don't understand her. Maybe she's on her period and she doesn't want to have sex with you. Maybe it's vulgar to a lot of guys listening, or you don't want to hear, but maybe she's on her period. It's that time of the month, and she thinks, you know what, I'd love to fuck Tristan, but I'm just not going to do that tonight in his house. I'd be embarrassed. I'd be ashamed. Me being pushy is just going to undo the month of hard work that I've done being charming and being nice and being kind, because I'm not getting laid. So first circumstance, you don't go home with her. Yeah, always be a gentleman.
Right.
Don't worry, let me get you a taxi home, because why would you burn the hard work you've done and not bother setting up a second date? But it's not just that. I would just rather be nice.
Right. It's so much easier that way, and it's so much natural that way. And I think if you push it and it's ever unnatural, it doesn't work. Now, on top of that, I'd like to hear more about how you're a gentleman when you actually break up with a woman. because that's what I'm really getting at behind the question of how you kind of live in her dreams a little bit. Because if you go out like a gentleman, I'm really big on never showing a woman emotion.
Yeah.
I feel like if you show a woman emotion, that she will look at you in a weaker way.
Yeah.
So I've seen you break up with a girl in person.
You've seen me break up with a few.
Yeah, one or two. I've seen a couple of Tristan's breakups live. They're not boring. Fireworks are out.
Yeah.
But Speaking on being a gentleman, why it's important to be a gentleman on the light side of it, and then the dark side of it when you have to either control a frame, be firm, or just flat out let a girl go. What can you say to that?
Well, most of the time, I'm always running multiple women at the same time. And, I've broken up with main chicks, and they can be messy, complicated situations. But a lot of the time, when I break up with a girl who I've been seeing for a few weeks, a few months, good girls who've been loyal to me, they are my girlfriend. I've got plenty, but they essentially, for all intents and purposes, are my girlfriend. I don't see the reason to burn bridges, one. Two, to create a negative reputation for myself, especially in the city I live in. Two. Three, to upset people any more than necessary, because if you call a woman every name you want to call her and spit in her face, she's going to forget about you within a day. She's going to be like, you know what, all that nice time I spent with Tristan, he showed his true colors tonight. Right. That's who he really is.
Right. You're going
to make that lasting bad impression. Right. I always like to leave with a lasting good impression. And also, you have to understand that when you want to be a playboy in a certain city, so I live in Bucharest, Romania, girls will ask girls who slept with me, been with me, spent time with me, they go, what's Tristan like? Oh, he's such a nice guy, I had such a good time with him. He just, maybe wasn't ready for something serious.
Right. He was a bit of a cheater, but he was always wonderful.
Exactly. What they won't say is,
he's psycho.
Yeah, exactly. He's a psycho. He threw me out the house. Because there's no advantage to doing that.